Today we take you on a visit aboard a remarkable boat with an equally remarkable woman. The boat is Teal, originally an Alaskan fisheries patrol vessel built in 1927 in North Bend, Oregon. She's 78 feet, 91 tons, with 2-inch Port Orford cedar planking, a massive Washington E-step diesel turning a 55-inch wheel. She regularly logged 11,000 miles a summer on patrol, carrying various scientists and fisheries officials in comfort, up and down the Inside Passage in style. In the mid-60s, Teal was sold to private owners, gradually fell into disrepair, until 1997 when a full restoration commenced. In 2008, Kip Pingree, with no experience behind a ship's wheel, took ownership and oversaw the final leg of Teal's full transformation, as well as her own. A lot of people, this would be a completely daunting boat to even think about maneuvering in any kind of an anchorage or docking or...
Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I'd be in this position. Right. It was crazy. I had the opportunity to get back on the water again. Well, 8 years ago, I actually bought the boat. When I grew up, it was sailboats, and my father, we were always in charge of dock lines and fenders. And the same when I bought this boat, the partner at the time was in control, and I was dock lines and fenders. I never was able to dock or run the boat, which is a big thing for me to tell women that are boating with their husbands. They need to know how to run that boat, because if something happens to their partner...
So critical.
It's so critical. Anyway, in buying this boat, the previous owner, I'll never forget him putting his hand on my shoulder when I'm trying to get her out. She gets smaller, and she does. I think of her as a little boat now, because I feel like I'm a part of her. Mm-hmm. I can sense where she is and how much I need for a turn and everything. But it was a real process. I had never taken her out of the dock by myself before. I hired a captain to get her out of the port of Friday Harbor, and I was going to anchor her.
So you sat for your 100-ton captain's license?
Just this last winter I went for it.
Right.
I had enough sea time hours on this boat to do the 100-ton. And now, I'm thinking back, now I single-handle her. I just plan in advance everything that I need to do and get ready before I leave, and then if I'm anchoring, if I'm going to redock somewhere, I'm making sure my fenders and lines everything are ready. She's so heavy that everything's slow and easy, and I watch what the current's doing and the wind's doing. By the time I'm at the dock, she's dead stopped and right up to the edge.
I'd love to have a look down below. I'd love if we could have a look in the engine room. Is there an area where you can actually see some of the structure of the hull?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's have a look.
This is a copy of one of her drawings. You can see a side section of her framing, the 10x10s, her ribs, but they've got them closer together here because originally her Washington engine was all in this section of the boat. So when they repowered her, the engine is now back here, and they had to fill a lot of this with concrete to rebalance the boat.
Right.
But it shows how all these little cabins were with the crew's quarters.
Quite chopped up captain's quarters forward just after the wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Just incredible to look at the sheer mass of some of these timbers. I mean, those are just cross sections of oak ribs, and then into this just massive stem that you can see is fastened off in a way. Just incredible.
And then this is my engine room. This was really fun getting to figure all this stuff out.
Wow.
So the first thing I did was I got a label maker. Making everything so it was organized and I could find the parts and secure, so if I'm moving around, nothing's going to fly around, like these little containers, so I can organize my parts and
spare parts, tools.
Yeah.
So can you give us just kind of a little walk around? What are we looking at for equipment?
This is a Cummins 855, 350 horsepower. You can get at everything. easy to work.
What kind of cruising
I
speed?
cruise at about 8 knots.
Amazing.
I still watch the tides and the currents because it's always nice to get that extra boost when you can.
So, 350 horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it such a big package? Slow turning. Very slow
turn,
RPM.
You're down 6-to-1 ratio.
6-to-1.
Yeah.
Right.
And she has a big 5-bladed prop, 55 inches across.
Wow.
Yeah.
55 inches across.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So, very high torque, low power,
Mm-hmm.
low fuel
Yeah.
consumption.
These,
So these the fuel tanks?
she has 4 of them.
4.
She holds two forward and 2 aft, and they're all interconnected. She holds 2,000 gallons of diesel.
Wow.
The best part is having a newer type engine in it. I am not a mechanic, you know, so it was a work in progress. I figured, okay, if it's organized, I know where my tools are. If it's clean, I can see if anything's going wrong right off the bat.
Right.
You know, if there's a leak somewhere, or if there's a loose belt, or, you know, there's something's not right.
Right.
First, when I got the boat, when we were talking about that, I hired a mechanic friend, and he went through everything with me, telling me what I should be checking, you know, like taking off in an airplane, you know, you want to check the oil, and, you know, how to change the filters. And that's when I started labeling everything, and even my filters, I labeled the date that I changed them on, and what I needed spare parts of, you know, all the belts and filters and that sort of thing. Now I've got my grandson down here, and he helped me change the oil the last time on the main engine. Right. He was so excited. But the fun thing about her is she has this little reverso pump here, so I can change the oil on either generator or the main by just turning on this pump and
right
turning
from
the valve.
there.
I could suck it and put it right into a 5-gallon can, although the main holds 9.5 gallons of oil.
Does it really?
Well, it's also fun having my grandkids help me down in here. We started with the questions. What's that? You know, what's this do? And I immediately went to, let's follow the lines. Let's see where they go.
Right.
So then we're on a discovery mission, and they're understanding better. Oh, yeah, okay, that goes to do this, and that's fun. And, you know, it's just been really fun teaching them all that, and then having the responsibility of actually hands-on and doing it with me.
Maintaining.
Like, they help me check all the battery levels and
Right.
fill them. And
this looks to be another small gen set.
she has 2 of them. This one's soundproof. I use this when I'm at anchor because it doesn't make much noise. She has 2 inverter systems, so I can go a couple of days without running any power if I'm at an anchor. This one I use mainly when I'm underway because she has a water maker, and it's 110, so I need to run the generator in order to make my water.
Right.
So I can make about 45 gallons an hour, and she holds 1,000 in these 2 tanks back here.
1,000 gallons of fresh water.
Yeah. And then she has a diesel heating system, and this also does my hot water. And so all the rooms have a little thermostat. Pressure pump for the water system, and the pressure tanks over there. This was my last project. I just finished building this ladder, but there was no access out of the hatch. Now I can bring my fenders down and grab my lines without having to go all the way around. But also this whole hatch will lift off. So, and I just put some pipes and roll it off. So if I ever need to have to bring anything heavy down into the hold
Right.
here, I could.
So this goes right up to the stern deck.
It does.
Do you mind?
So this is her fantail.
Beautiful fantail.
I wanted a nice bench in the stern, so I made this also in my brother's garage. It was in 3 sections that I had to bring on the boat from the stern.
Have you been a woodworker your whole life?
No, not really. I was a landscape designer and contractor for 20 years. And so I've done a lot of stuff with my hands. It's you know, if you see a picture or you get an idea in your mind, it's kind of fun to just try it. I mean, my father always said, well, it was the best thing he said to me is that I don't want to ever hear you can't do something, because you can do anything you want to do. Just try. She used to have a big towing hitch. I figured if I ever have to tow anyone, I have these 2 cleats that I can use, so I wasn't ruining that part.
That's an impressive, that's actually a very impressive cleat.
Yeah.
And you're not messing around there.
2 more up forward. Oh, so here's the stern controls. This is one of our safety signals. If people are back here and they need to alert me right away that something's wrong, they just grab this and, you know, slow her down right away, and then I know. I love her galvanized railings, you know, to go along with these were all built in the foundry and right here in Port Townsend. They're all cast.
So these weren't original?
No.
The galvanized finish really goes with the style of the boat. Well, it seems like Port Townsend is the place to have work done.
Should I toot the horn? I've been dying to do it. This guy's been coming by. And that way you can hear her horn. I saw you jump when I tooted.
Yeah.
It's nice to get people's attention. So there's her windlass. It's all hydraulic. You can free fall the chain too if you, in emergency, you know, you really need to get it down fast. But I always lower it hydraulically because it kind of scares me.
Right.
The chain just going.
That is some serious chain. 5/8, 450 feet of 5/8 chain. That's just a hawse pipe right through the bow side of the boat. Line
Yes, but it's also nice because you can see when the top of the anchor shaft starts coming up, so you slow down so you don't, you know, jam it in there or anything.
Well, as you would expect, her stem's about 2 feet thick. That is a serious hunk of wood. And then this galvanized cap. So I see this incredible dinghy up on the top deck. Can we have a look at that?
Yeah.
This is like the dance floor.
So this is where I keep the tenders. This is my fitness center here. She has the 2 station gliding rowing seats, and then she also is outfitted with sails. She has a little jib and the main, so it's really fun to play with the kids and the adults for exercise. These are built in Victoria. But then here's I try to hide this between the 2 tenders because it doesn't go with the boat. It's a hydraulic crane. Sorry, but launching these, I used to use this boom and the winch, but you'd need a couple of people at least, one to push the boom out and the other to crank and another couple down below to grab the boat. It snuggles in here pretty good.
Right. So her original stack, the year of her build, 1927?
This is not her original stack. They did this when they were restoring her. It's an old fuel can, so they made it into her stack.
So that's her main engine exhaust?
Yes.
Are there sails? Are there steadying sails for her?
She originally had 3 sails, 2 on each mast and then a jib. But they were mainly steadying sails, but they also called them get home. So if she lost her engine, she could do a little bit of something.
Wow. So big galley aft in the deck salon?
Because I love to cook. So this is the salon.
So a lot of the furniture here you built yourself?
Right. My brother has a garage shop that he let me use. This is actually 3 pieces of the sapele, and they've been biscuit joined together.
Yeah.
And then it's pegged into the floor, so it's not going to go anywhere.
What's the story with the carving here on the...
When she was being restored at Port Hadlock and here at Port Townsend also, the owner had this carving made. And it was actually down here as covered doors. And you couldn't see it or appreciate it, so I put it together and moved it up there and framed it. Well, let me show you the captain's quarters.
Gosh, this mahogany bed is incredible. Again, is this all joinery and so forth that you brought to the boat?
No, this was built by the shipwrights in Port Townsend.
Big beam shelf.
Knee braces.
And then this massive ceiling. I mean, this ceiling has got to be 3-inch inner planking.
Yeah.
And this kind of belt.
So this is the bunk room for the grandkids.
Yeah, look at this.
And then they get a little ladder to go up through the doghouse there. But they love it. And then you can
Massive
see
deck
how
frame.
thick the deck planking is here, because there's a cross section of it.
Holy cow.
I know.
So it's like 2 3/4 inch thick vertical grain fir deck. Wow.
So this is my secret weapon.
Your secret weapon.
This runs the windlass. It's all hydraulic. The anchor alone weighs 500 pounds, and then she has 5/8 chain, 450 feet of it. So it's really nice. Like, that's why I can anchor in deeper spots than most people. And then the chain locker's ahead of that. But this also runs, she has a bow thruster.
So this is a generator, diesel generator that is solely to run the hydraulics.
Right.
The windlass, the thruster.
I retired, and all of a sudden I get to live again, and I get to live through her. She's given me a whole new life. I'm just her caretaker. She's taking me any place I want to go, meeting incredible people. A new lease on life.